Welcome to Fallout 76, this is Jim. In this video we're going to take a look at completing the daily challenges for today, Sunday, March the 9th, 2025. Let's take a look at it and see what we got for today. Alright, we got some good ones here. I have many videos on my channel that'll help you guys out, get different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas over there. If you're a brand spanking new player to the game, you're a returning player, even if you're an experienced player, there's a particular daily, weekly challenge that's giving you a hard time or trouble. I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that'll help you. I try to keep my videos as updated as I possibly can. And of course, you guys are awesome. The great comments and tips are greatly appreciated. First things first, I'd like to apologize for the lateness of the video. I'm working my 12-hour day shift, and I appreciate everyone's patience and support on these days. I'm swinging over to nights tomorrow night, so they should be out the usual time tomorrow. If you are wondering why I have a little bit more score going on than you, I have a 25% boost going on right now, as you can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Of course, I claimed that right off the current Season 19 Season Pass on 3 pages, a 5%, 10%, additional 10%, equaling 25%. And you can claim that by being a Fallout First member or by paying 1,500 atoms for the Season Pass. Alright, let's take a look here. Drink T1. So we do have a camp resource that will give us tea here in the game. And of course, it is the company tea machine. And it's right over here. Now we get this one at the last scoreboard, the Season 15 scoreboard. It was very early on and it was available for everyone. As you can see, it will passively collect 5 company tea while you play the game. Now I believe there are about 2 other variations of this one, but this is the OG one here. But if you ever do see one for sale in the Atomic Shop, it's definitely worth to get. Now I realize not everyone's going to have a company tea machine, but we can craft tea the old-fashioned way. Let's go to a cooking grill here and we'll take a look at that real quick. If we go all drinks here, we're going to go after the simple bloodleaf tea here. 1 bloodleaf, 1 boiled water, 1 wood. Of course, we learned this recipe by automatically, simply by picking up a bloodleaf. We can find bloodleaves in a lot of areas, well, even in toxic water, where we can find bloodleaves. So one of the best spots for bloodleaves is actually right here in good old Flatwoods. And I usually kind of recommend this to people just because, you know, we can come here at any level, more so for the lower, lower level folk who are coming down here from Vault 76. So right along this little river, right behind Flatwoods, you can check this place out. But essentially, we can find blood leaves everywhere. Let's pop over here to the Wayward. We can even find some at the toxic water up at the Toxic Valley and around Kitty Corner Cabins. There was one there just yesterday. And again, all you need to do is pick up 1 blood leaf and you will learn simple blood leaf tea. It is that easy. Right, so we have been here recently, so let's go ahead. We're going to pick up a blood leaf. So as soon as you pick this up, you learn simple blood leaf tea. It's that simple. And as you can see, we pick up 2. And the reason for that is because we have a perk card under perception. It is called Green Thumb. We twice as much when harvesting flora, so instead of 1, we pick up 2. And this is one of those cards you just don't throw away or you scrap. You definitely hang on to it. Doesn't matter what mutation you are. Alright, so now we have our blood leaf. We can go ahead and cook it up. We might as well just head right back to our camp because there's a couple things we have to go back and forth to our camp for, so we might as well just pop back here. Sound like a bunch of vertebrates were nearby and possibly some super boons, but we'll see what happens when we spawn in here. There's some sort of ruckus going on there when we were doing that explaining. So let's head inside here. We're going to go to our cooking station. Again, any cooking station will do. Someone else's camp, at a train station down through Flatwoods by the tavern. So we'll go all drinks again. Simple blood leaf tea. There we go. Let's go ahead and craft them here. There we go, just like that. And let's go ahead. We are going to drink our simple blood leaf tea. Just like that, nice and easy. And as you can see under stats and effects, that I am a carnivore. So just to let you know that even if you're a carnivore, it will count towards the daily. And again, if you have that company tea machine or one of the other variants of it, definitely you don't even have to leave your camp. You just grab it that way as well. Alright, let's see what's next here. Consume any chems too. Okay, so we can grab chems in, the vast majority of the wasteland. I'm fairly certain most large areas, cities, towns will have some sort of chems laying around. You go after human enemies such as blood eagles, such as cultists. So blood eagles, this type of icon here. Cultists, this type of icon here. Even down here in the Skyline Valley region, You have the communists down here. Usually every other one will have, you know, a variety of stim packs on them. And even in those areas, we'll have a bunch of chems just laying around. One of the best spots for chems is right here in good old Point Pleasant. You get a lot of stim packs off the cultists, but I think the most we ever found here one time on one server was 30. 30 chems altogether, and that's including the stim packs off the cultists. So that was a pretty good day. That was like a year and a half ago. We did that for our weekly challenge, so that was a pretty good spot. Even down here at the Gilman Lumber Mill, where the responders are, that's a pretty decent spot as well. And of course, you can buy chems and all that from other players' vendors if you're having a real tough time, so you can always do it that way. Every train station on the map, including you know, the usual areas like Nuka World on Tour, the White Spring Mall. Down here, the trading post, they do have the medical dispensers, so you can buy chems using caps that way as well. So just an FYI, and of course you can craft your own chems. If we go down the right alley here. So if you have a chemistry station, you just go ahead and go craft. And you go down here to healing. And you can craft your own chems as long as you have the recipe for it. And of course, even down here, if you have like a, you know, like a stim pack, or if you have a bag of Radaway or a bottle of Radax, you can create the diluted version. You can go that way too as well. But most of us, for the most part, will carry chems on us on a you know, variety capacity. So if you take a look at the bottom left-hand corner, you see how my HP. So if I try to take a stim pack here, okay, it's not going to count, okay, because I'm considered full health. Okay, so if you try doing that yourself and you're new to the game, there's nothing wrong with your game. It's just because you're full health. Okay, and that's just the reason why I kind of showed that. Now I don't have a whole lot of rads there. But we can take a rat away real quick here. There we go. Okay. And let's go ahead. We're going to take some berry mentats here. Why not? There we go. Consume any chems 2 for 2. And it's that easy. You can make it as simple as hard as you want. I like to give you guys, you know, locations where you can find chems. But, you know, most of us know how to take chems. Okay. But more so just the locations, especially for the newer folk. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here, Jim. Drink Nuka-Cola Orange too. Okay, good stuff. So we do talk about the Nuka-Cola Collectron Station here a lot on the channel. Like, I mean, if not every day, seems like every day. But we have this OG one here. And as you can see, he passively collects different types of Nuka-Cola products. Now, he'll also collect the odd bottle or two, so it's just an FYI. But as you can see, he's got some real nice ones here. Some orange, wild grape, cranberry. Sometimes he has a quantum in there, so just an FYI. He will go on sale maybe once or twice a year, usually by himself for 250, 500 atoms. Now the other variation of that, of course, if you go to our build menu, then go to our resource tab here. And it's, oh, I probably passed it. There we go. This one right here is the Nuka-Cola Quantum version. We got this one back in Season 11 scoreboard when Nuka World on Tour first came out. Now, in addition to Nuka-Cola products and bottles, they also collect purified water and nuclear waste. So either or works. You guys know I have 10 camps, and I have either or in each camp, all right? So they're definitely worth the have. When he goes on sale again, usually once or twice a year, but he's usually in a bundle with other things. Now, I believe we can get this one here using gold bullion. If we go down here to Foundation, Samuel, as long as you have a reputation with Cautious with the Settlers, you can buy it for 1250 gold bullion down here in Foundation. So Nuka-Cola Orange, there's only one natural spawn for Nuka-Cola Orange now. It's up here in Fraternity Row. Actually, over 2 years ago, there was another spawn. I actually had to unlist that video. It's a very popular video. I had like 10,000 views or more, but it was fairly close to Middle Mountain Pit Stop. But they since had cleared that area about 2 years ago, and that no longer exists. So we only have one natural spawn. It's up here in Fraternity Row in Morgantown. That's more so for the returning folk. If you remember, way up in that area by that pond, used to be an orange tent with a scavenger kind of cutting wood next door. Used to be a nice little spawn for Nuka-Cola Orange down there, but no longer. So we're going to head up here, and we're going to the Etta Sai house. It's the one with the blue door. It's the one with the Nuka-Cola bedroom downstairs. Let's hop over these guys here real quick, and let's go inside. All right, so let's take a look here. Get out of the way there, robot. Look at that, we get our orange here today, so that's pretty good. So you guys have seen me do this many a times. I usually do this on private servers, and sometimes it just doesn't spawn in. And because I don't usually pick these up, I'm just kind of curious every time I come here to see what's here. But sometimes it's here and sometimes it's not, so it depends on the server that you're on, because I don't pick these up, right? If you do pick them up regularly, you're going to have to reset your game because everyone has that limit by picking up 250, 255 items. We also talk about that a lot. But I don't pick them up, and just sometimes they just don't spawn in. And this is a popular area. If you are limited to public servers with other people, there's a good chance you can spawn here, you know, as many times as you want. There'll just be nothing here. It'll be all cleared out, all right? So just an FYI, let's take these caps while we're here. All right, so I would say if you do come here and you are on a private server, I'd recommend maybe 2 or even 3 server hops to try to, you know, come here and find this one. But I wouldn't waste too much time because you can buy these at the end of the day, and that's what I usually recommend to people, just buy them, okay? So we're going to go right here to White Springs, and we're going to head right to the front door, this icon right here. I can hit it here, there we go. We're going to go right inside, the front door icon. That's what I call it anyway, the front door. The other icon will bring you down to the mall. Alright, so we're going to take it right up the stairs here. We talk about this a lot on the channel. Go through the tavern, go through the medical bay, go to the big wide open area where the responders are. We're going to hang on left. Here's this little store here where Giuseppe trades things for stamps. We have good old Bubbles here, so let's trade with Bubbles. As you can see, Nuka-Cola orange for 29 caps. There we go. And again, you can server hot Bubbles all day long, like 100 times, and you'll be able to get 100 orange every single time, all right? So just an FYI, even if you are on a public server with other people, just come on in, all right? So just an FYI there. So I usually buy it from Bubbles, more so to show you that the inventory that Bubbles has is not tied into the inventory of down here at Nuka World on Tour and the vending machine. So it's spawned down here now. Nuka World on Tour, which is also a free fast travel once when you discover it. And of course, the vending machines are right down here. Oh, let's try to get out of here real quick. If you're a YouTuber, if you guys probably know, the music that Bethesda chose for the events down here is copyright. So let's get this vending machine here real quick. Here's a Nuka-Cola orange, 29 caps. I'm trying to talk a little bit louder just so it doesn't pick it up. So again, that's why I kind of buy it from Bubbles, just to show you how the inventory between Bubbles and the vending machines do not count. All right, so just an FYI there. So that's what I would recommend. If you don't have a Nuka-Cola Collectron, you know, don't waste too much time at Fraternity Row, maybe 2 or 3 server hops if you, have time to spare. But just buy them. Just buy them at the end of the day and just save yourself a lot of time. So let's go to our food and drink here. We're going to drink our Nuka-Cola orange. There we go, done, just like that. Drink Nuka-Cola orange 2 for 2. All right, let's see what's next here. All right, let's see. Let's do this one here. Complete an event while well-fed 1, all right? So you can either be well-fed or fully fed. It doesn't really matter, okay? And of course, if you can do any event on the map. If you take a look in the description, there is a link to a video on how to complete events for newbies, okay? And it more or less shows you a couple of events that you can spawn in yourself. Because if y'all been on those servers, there's just nothing going on, or something going on, and maybe you don't want to do that particular event. Maybe you just want to do an event by yourself, something nice and easy. So we do go through a couple of those in that video, and it's all time-stamped, and you can check that video out if you so wish. And again, well-fed or fully fed. So we can look at the bar at the bottom right-hand corner. So we don't really look at the drink bar, we just look at the food bar only. So if we go under stats here, then effects, you scroll it down, as you can see, I'm fully fed at 83%, okay? I've seen well-fed, so well-fed is below fully fed, and I've seen it go as low as 63%, so just an FYI, there's a lot of room there, okay? So we are 83%, but let's go item here, and we're going to eat some food just to bring it to 100%, just to kind of show you. Alright, so let's go back to the stats, so now we can see fully fed. Alright, so as you can see, the fully fed or well-fed has nothing to do with the drink bar, just the food bar. and you can be either well fed or fully fed. Right, so let's take a look at the map here, see what we got for events. Let's take a look. So not a whole lot going. We have manhunt up here, and if you're really dying for an event, what's this one here? Okay, that one there. You can always claim a workshop, any workshop on the map, and usually about 3 minutes after claiming it, you'll have to defend that workshop, and that is considered an event as well. And even if you try to help to defend a workshop that doesn't belong to you, and you successfully, help it, that is also considered an event as well. All right. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot going on here. Let's pop over here to the Mount Blair train yard and see if we can spawn in BattleBot. We're down here in the ash heap, why not? All right, perfect. This is just one of these events that you can spawn in yourself. Now, this one here is very easy to do. I know you might think it's in a harder area, but again, let's get this guy in the fusion core. There we go. You're going to turn around, you're going to get this guy here in the thruster. And make sure you pick up the bunker cards, okay? That's what we're going to need for the next part here. Don't forget to pick up your other stuff here from the security box. It's got some good stuff on them. I'm a tanky build, so that's why this white doesn't really affect me too much there, that stuff. And don't forget the other bunker card from this Mr. Gutsy. So now that you got your 2 bunker cards, what's going to happen is you're going to come down here. Now what's supposed to happen is these doors are supposed to be closed, okay? And they're not supposed to swing open until you activate that red button. But even now, I can try to activate it, but I still have to go through the process of the event, okay? And what I recommend here, and it'll take you a couple times to get used to it, but when you do, it's no problem at all. The main thing you got to remember is you walk, you do not run, and you don't watch for the card to go down the little reader. All you do is you activate, you walk to the other side, and you just spam as soon as you get over here real quick, because you only have about 4 seconds or so, all right? It might take you a couple times to get used to that, but it's once you do it a couple times, it's fairly easy to do to get down that little pattern. There we go, complete an event while well fed. 1 for 1 again. We were fully fed, so it still counted. And this is a great spot for nice little stuff in here. And even on the top, there's a bunch of gas canisters and tanks up there, so that's pretty good. All right, let's see what's next here. Oh, we have one that spawned in here. What's this? Wheel Blast. Did that one a few weeks ago, actually. All right, let's take a look here. Pick a lock 1. So I do have a couple older videos I made early in 2023. The videos are really short. I would say maybe about 1.5 minutes. They're very short. The audio is a little rough. It's because it's using my old equipment. But again, I usually recommend for these daily, weekly challenge videos is to pick a lock that is 0 requirement. That way there we kind of get all fields, because if it's 0 requirement, you don't require any perk cards at all. Like I know my low level guy, he's like, I think he's level 52 or level 53. I have yet to get a lockpick card for that guy. I do have Master Infiltrator now as a legendary one, but I don't even have just a regular pick lock card at all. It's quite something. But again, so that's why I usually kind of go after the level 0 requirement. I do have maybe 3 videos showing you some great spots, and you can check those out if you so wish. One of the best spots for level 0 is right here in good old Gilman Lumber Mill. There is one here in the Blue Ridge. Actually, there's 2 here at the Blue Ridge Bunkhouse. And I believe there's one up here at the North Kanawha Lookout. All right. Let's pop over to the Blue Ridge Bunkhouse here today, and I'll show you those 2. And again, it doesn't have to be a level 0. If you have some pet cards, or if you have Master Infiltrator, legendary pet card, you can pretty much pick whatever that's on the map, okay? But I do this more so for the lower level folk that are having a hard time, that maybe not have any perk cards. So this toolbox, as you can see, level 0 requirement. And I believe right in here, this first aid box, as you see, level 0 requirements. So there's 2 of them right in this area alone. Now you'll see how it says auto unlock for me. Yes, again, as I always kind of mention, we go over these legendary perk cards here. Once when you get into legendary perk cards, I highly recommend this guy right here. Now he's maxed right out, but auto unlock skill 3 terminals, locks, lockpick hacking skill, so I can open up and hack anything in the game. I don't, with this card, you don't have to have any perk cards, or sorry, any pick lock perk cards under perception or hacking under intelligence. All right, all you need is that master infiltrator. All right, so just an FYI, just give you like a little bit of a hint, something you can maybe strive for if you're lower level or you were unaware of that. Let's go ahead and unlock it, done, just like that. Pick a lock 1-for-1. It's that easy. That easy. And if you come here and you're on a public server and you walk up to it and you're thinking, okay, it's not a pick lock. Well, maybe that could be a possibility that somebody had already picked it on that server. Okay, so I have come across that, and it's one of the questions that I asked, or one of the mentions that people make, that I try to go to the same thing you did, Jim, but it wasn't a pick lock at all. And I just say, no, somebody already picked it before you, so you either have to server hop or try one of those other videos that I have here on the channel, just kind of showing you where those level 0 requirement pick locks are. All right, let's see what's next here, Jim. Kill glowing creature 1. Okay, so glowing creatures, you know, we can find them all around the wasteland. Sometimes are kind of hit and miss. One of the best spots is here, good old Moninga. There's about 12 to 19 mole miners here, and usually half of them are glowing. Right, it's a really good spot. There's about 3 mole miners here. Usually at least one of them is glowing. Right down here at the Blackwater Mine, inside and outside, there's a lot of mole miners here, and a lot of them are usually glowing down here. Right up here, excuse me, Toxic Larry's Meet and Go, we have the triplets, the 3 Snallygasters, and there's a lot of time, like I would say 75% of the time, all 3 of them are glowing. Same thing down here at Flooded Train Yard. There's a lot of Snallygasters down here, and usually at least 5 or 6 of them are glowing. One of the best spots for lower level folk is right down here, actually at the Shenandoah Visitor Center in the Skyline Valley region. So of course we all know the trading post is a free fast travel once when you discover it. But right here there's a lot of, I would say at least 12 rad roaches, and usually the vast majority of them are glowing down here, and you know, rad roaches are pretty easy to kill. And I find most creatures in general, not all, but most creatures in around the Skyline Valley region are glowing. Alright, like rad stag and mole rats, etc., etc. The Yowai bears, okay? I know the one down here in Camp Liberty, the Yowai bear that's in a cage, usually he's glowing. Right up here, good old Abby's Bunker. So if you follow the Overseer mission, you actually come here very early on in game. I think my low-level guy came here at level 25. But there are 5 rad roaches here, and usually at least 2 or 3 of them are glowing here. Now you will need, again, a level 0 requirement hack to get in. But again, you don't need any perk cards, it's a level 0 requirement. But once when you get in, go downstairs, and there's about 5 rad roaches down there, and sometimes they're all glowing, but you know, usually 1 or 2 are at least glowing down there, so that's a pretty decent spot as well. Let's pop down here to the Shenandoah Visitor Center here, just to show you those rad roaches down here. Try to give you guys as many options and locations as I can. Alright, so let's go ahead here. This is our rad roaches there. Just like that. This guy gets killed there. And look at those guys over there. See them? 3 of them right there. And even up there, there's 2 more up there. So this is a really good spot. I find not just for these rad, well, there's a regular guy there. He's left out. But again, anywhere in the Skyline Valley region, you find more glowing creatures down here in general. All right, we're going to head back to our camp here before we start the next challenge here, and our last one. So I'll pop over to our camp because we have to get a weapon here. Sounds like a rad roach just opened a door. That's kind of weird. I don't know how it could have reached it. Huh, look at that there. That's kind of neat, eh? I never realized that was there. Oh, my lord. Did the same thing to me just the other day, didn't it? Yeah, like 2 days ago. Tried to fast travel and it kicked me out. Silly game. Yeah, it's a little annoying, isn't it? Alright. Let's go private server again here, Jim. It'll probably bring me to the same server. And I'll probably be back at my camp. Usually that's what happens when the game kicks you out like that. And you're in the middle of fast traveling. Usually you end up in the location that you're fast traveling to. That's what I find anyway. Oh, perfect. Alright. Huh! Right in the middle of her. Last one here. Deal a critical hit to an enemy using automatic weapons. 5. Okay, so let's take a look at automatic weapons here. Let's go to our weapons workbench. Let's go craft, just to kind of give you some ideas. So machine guns. Alright. So there's several variations of 10mm. I believe we can put a automatic receiver on that guy. Get the submachine gun here. Now the handmade and the fixer. So the handmade and the fixer is very unique, in which if you scrap enough of them, you can get mods to switch it between a automatic or single fire. Alright, so just an FYI there, handmaids and fixers are, you know, very versatile weapons to have in your arsenal. And of course we have the old Tommy gun here. Pretty good. Just to give you guys a couple of ideas. Alright, let's pick a automatic weapon from our stash box here. Let's see what we got here, Jim. Yeah, we'll use the submachine gun here. We'll grab him. And don't forget the ammo. Let's take our 45 rounds. Oh, we got a lot of those, don't we? Wow. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead. We're going to put that weapon on. There we go. Lock and load, baby. Okay, so we have our automatic weapon ready to go here. Deal critical hit to an enemy. Any enemy at all. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if you're down through flatwoods and you're low level, you're going after some mongrels, some mole rats, some Brahmin, right? Critical hit. Any enemy at all. Robots, what have you. Let's go to this spot over here, Somerville Stocks. Now, I'd like to kind of show it off over here just because there's one Scorch that is kind of out of the way from the other guy, so we can kind of show you that. Alright, so let's get a little sneak on here. Alright, so you see our crit meter in the middle, so let's get up on this roof. Alright, so you see our crit meter in the middle. It's empty. Right, you just see a tiny little sliver there. And our critical at the bottom, it's grayed out. Alright? Now, depending on the weapon that you have and the legendary effects, some weapons may take 1 or 2 shots to fill that crit meter. Other weapons may take 8 shots to fill that crit meter. It all depends on the weapon and the legendary effects that you have on it. So let's go ahead. We're going to hit his torso here. Now, you see we're just a little above half. Now, sometimes that crit meter comes up really quick. And if you're going through a lot of enemies, it comes up so quick, even though we're looking at the screen in front of us, sometimes we don't even notice that crit meter because we're just not paying attention to it. So what I do, I listen for an audible alarm. It sounds like a little blip. It had like a little blip sound. And that's how I know that that crit meter is full. Alright, so you hear the little blip sound. So even though that crit meter came up so fast, I didn't even see it. But I know my crit meter is full because of that little sound. All right, so now we can perform a critical hit. Now, the older videos that I had, I showed you where you have to hit that critical button. See the bottom of the screen, see how it's full now? And now it's blinking. So in my case, it's Y. So whatever button that is for you, it'll be doing the same thing once when you're ready to go. And in those older videos, I said you have to hit that critical button and the fire button at the same time. Now, you can do that. There's nothing wrong. It works. Okay? But the better way to do that is you hit the critical button by itself, and the screen will quickly flash white. And then you hit the fire button by itself, right? So let's hit our critical button here, and you can see the screen flash. See it flash? And now we're going to hit the fire button by itself. There's our critical hit. Now, if you have a weapon, like a 2-shot, okay, and both shots land, you'll get credit for two critical hits. Pretty cool. So you guys have seen me do that using my handmade because it is a 2-shot. But just an FYI that if you have a 2-shot, you get, and if they both impact, then you're good. Let's go ahead here. We're going to keep going. Okay, so we hear the little blip sound, so we're ready to do a critical hit. And I'm not even though I'm looking at the screen, I'm not watching for that meter. I'm more or less listening for that little blip sound. And you can miss on a critical hit. Right, so after you do it a couple times, you'll never go back. And I've had a lot of people tell me in those videos that I made that they never did critical hits before until they watched the video and they realized how easy it was. And I can't imagine not using that option myself. Oh. Sorry, you heard the little blip sound, so we should have one more guy popping up here. Just like that. And I recommend going for the torso. Because the torso is the biggest part of any enemy, especially if you're going after insects, because how they're so small. I usually recommend going for the torso. Because again, you can miss on a critical hit. I was taking a few shots to kill these guys because I don't have that particular build on, but either way it works. It allowed me to kind of explain it, kind of take our time, and that's why I usually kind of go through this area, because these scores are kind of far apart enough from each other, so they're not kind of all over it at once. So I can kind of explain it the way that I do, for those of you who don't know how to do a critical hit. But I think we're done. Let's take a look here. We are just like that, sweet. Let's head back to our camp here, and we'll go over weapons of the day. Yeah, so for those of you who watch my channel regularly, especially with the lower level, because mostly my high level guy, we just usually go after the daily, weekly challenges, but it's my lower level guy is the guy I use for doing quests and early on quests and stuff. So you'll see me kind of doing more running around, killing more enemies with my lower level guy. But if you watch those videos, you'll see how I do critical hits like all the time, all the time. Especially when you're low level, it's so useful. You just get a little bit more power, a little more oomph out of your weapon. So let's go weapon of the day here. Alright, it's this Furious Free State Suppressed Combat Shotgun. Plus 5% damage after each consecutive hit on the same target, up to plus 45%. Projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage. Plus 50 damage resist while aiming. Plus 40% armor penetration. It's a Furious Explosive Steadfast. Hardened receiver, a line long barrel, a line stock, perforating magazine, long scope suppressor, and this awesome looking Free States paint. 25 times 8 damage. It takes shotgun shells and in a single fire. And of course, we use this guy here at the end as a Gorman suppressed submachine gun. Damage increase up to plus 24% as you fill your hunger and thirst meters, currently plus 21%. Projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage, 100% faster movement speed while aiming, plus 60% armor penetration. It is Gorman's explosive nimble. Armor piercing receiver, short light barrel, recoil compensating stock, medium quick eject drum, reflex sight dot suppressor, and no appearance. 35 damage just base as it is with no special perk cards. 45 ammo, and as you saw there, automatic. Pretty good little weapon there. Now, of course, we're on a shotgun build for the most part here. So under strength, we have Master Shotgunner, Shotgunner, Expert Shotgunner, all maxed out. Scatter Shot, Skeet Shooter, Concentrated Fire, Grenadier, Suppressor, Tenderizer, Covert Operative, Enforcer's a good one, White Knight, Adrenaline, these random luck cards which randomly pops in when they're being activated. Legendary perk cards, again, these don't change for me. I've had them for a very long time and I'm very happy with them. As you can see, they're all maxed out. Nice. Yeah, so there you guys go. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like, subscribe, and share when you have the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Mr. Shelton, Drake Stamps, NotMeButMeYesMeThatsMe, Drew Andrew, Demon, Confoundedbridge, Corne van Niekerk, Ben Durant, John, DJ59. Thank you all so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.